plain white sneakers a direction that things are going in. And you know something? The Perspex shoe thing. You wear a Perspex shoe. I don't know whether you've seen them be worn and you've witnessed this, but I've seen many a Perspex shoe worn, and the sweat situation. Hi everyone, welcome to another video. I hope you don't mind me here, like, dressed warm. It's freezing in the UK at the moment. It's actually horrible. I can't stand being cold and I'm freezing. So that's why I'm dressed like this, so please excuse me. But I want to talk to you about things that are seriously out of style for 2024. So if you're kind of looking at your wardrobe right now and you're like, what do I archive? Because I do think, just because it's not in style and it feels dated, don't get rid of it, because those things come back round again. So unless you've got something and you really don't like it, then fair enough, sell it. But I think a lot of these things, archive what's not in style and pull out the things you probably already own that are in style. So the first thing, which I'm not mad about that these are gone, is skinny jeans. Skinny jeans, I feel, started to phase out a little bit in 2023. Now for me, I own many skinny jeans because I find when I go for walks, I prefer a skinny jean to like a boot cut, because a skinny jean I can tuck into boots. There's no like excess fabric moving around and being annoying. They're just comfortable for going for walks. And I did used to wear them a lot in the daytime, but then I started to go off them. And I have definitely moved towards boot cut jeans and straight leg jeans. And I just feel that they look more flattering. Depends on your figure. I've seen people wearing straight like skinny jeans and they look amazing, but I think for the most part, particularly if you carry weight on the thigh, which I do, I find a boot cut or a straight leg jean is so much more flattering. Okay, the next thing, you might have actually noticed this. Gone are the days of neon colours and pastels. We are going to be seeing, and I think we already are, more people wearing neutral tones. So I'm seeing people wearing a lot of cream, a lot of camel, even some navy tones. And these sort of earthy, cooler tones are something that's really going to be in. So again, if you have anything in your wardrobe, you don't need to go and buy this stuff. I bet you've got stuff in your wardrobe that ticks these boxes that you can feel like in style if this is your vibe. That will make you feel like you're in the trend. Oh, this next one, again, a bit like with the skinny jeans, although this one I feel more strongly about. Perspex, like, you know those plastic heels that are transparent? And you could get the heel transparent, but also the bit that your foot goes into is transparent plastic. They look good on a shelf. Personally, I feel this, don't want to offend anyone. In my personal taste, they look fine on the shelf, they don't look so good worn. And I have seen them out in the wilderness, out in the wild, on the streets. I have seen them be worn and the foot sweat is something crazy. And I don't personally think they look that fantastic. I think there are better shoes out there. The Perspex thing is dead. And also the Perspex handbag, where you could see all the way through the bag and you could see what you're carrying around. Not practical. Not very private, and that's not in either. Now, talking about bags, you might be wondering, okay, with the bags, what's in and what's out? You might be surprised to know that tiny bags, really, really nano bags are in as accessories to be worn. Like, you know, like you get those nano bags that you can wear crossbody and they're pointless and you can get your like AirPods in there and that's about it. They are in, but small bags are not. And one thing that's made a big return is the return of the oversized hobo. These tote bags, or like hobo bags, that are very oversized and don't have big logos on them. They are making a huge comeback. So if you're into that kind of thing, you might be very pleased to hear that. Another thing that I'm not sorry to see go, and it's sliders. Or you know the ones, like, there are many different types. You have the ones that were all over plastic, the ones that have fur over the top, faux fur, of course, it has to be. And I never personally loved these, but they are really not a thing. What people are moving to instead, and And I do think actually TikTok drives a lot of trends. I think before it was very much the fashion industry that drove trends, and I think now we're seeing social media, but in particular TikTok, is pushing the direction in which things go. I'm really noticing that. Like, I keep talking about Ugg boots. That's TikTok has done that. If you ask me, from what I've been reading and what I've witnessed, is it does seem to be TikTok that's brought those back from the past. But when it comes to slides or sliders, they are not a thing. And instead what people seem to be moving to are sneakers. Now, I bought a pair of sneakers a couple of weeks ago and I need to show you them again because they're so cool. I love them, but they are cream. They look white here, but they're like off-white cream. And they've got the little Nike or Nike ticks on them in gold. And I love the way these look. If you can still get them, I will link to them below. I did get them a few weeks ago now, so if you can't see a link, then that's because they're sold out. But yeah, like, so cute. And I really think that plain white sneakers are a direction that things are going in. How many of you remember, it's not so old to be honest, how many of you remember the trend of wearing a very oversized shirt, slightly tucked in on one side into skinny jeans, or wearing a really oversized cardigan or an oversized sweater or jumper? How many of you remember that? That was the thing, I feel, in 2022 in particular. That is now gone. I don't know how many of you are noticing this, and some of you might actually not like this, but the cropped jumper or the cropped top is really back in. Now, I say you might not like this because not everyone feels comfortable wearing a cropped off shorter top. They can be quite annoying, particularly if you wear like a lower rise trouser. If you wear a high rise trouser with them, I actually like the way they look. I think they can be quite flattering and they can make your waist look narrower. So some of you might not love them, but that is a key trend. So for now, archive off, unless you love wearing it, you've got to wear what you love. Archive off your oversized things and move towards cropped, shorter cut jumpers. And then moving on to trench coats. The 3/4 length trench coat was a thing, without doubt. And I still think it's a very classic thing. I think with trench coats, although there has been a move recently, this year in particular, to go back to full length trench coats. I think trench coats are very classic items and you can buy them and they never date. They pretty much never ever date. So I think if you do have a 3/4 trench coat and you like wearing it, go ahead and wear it. But if you are watching this video because you just want to know what's the newest thing, 3/4 length is out. What's really in is long trench coats, like literally to the ankle. I think it depends on a person's physique and height as to whether they can pull this off. So I would say, for me personally, I'm tall, but I don't like the look of trench coats to the ankle on me. I feel like they make me look bulky. Whereas if I wear a 3/4 length, I feel like it's more flattering. It cuts me at a certain point on the thigh that looks more flattering. If you are petite, you might find that a trench coat to the ankle drowns you, in which case I would say stick with your 3/4. But that's the thing, that's what's going to be in. And then the final thing is chunky heels. So I feel that for a little while, chunky heels have been a real thing, more so over stiletto heels to a certain degree. But there has been a move, a change. And the things that are apparently coming back are the stiletto heel. Not great on pavements, but you know, it's coming back. If you're a stiletto heel person, you'll be pleased to hear that's coming back. The other thing, as I mentioned earlier, that is a really big thing, and I think it's TikTok driven, is this move to wearing sneakers. And not just any sneaker, like a classic white pair of sneakers that are really clean looking, really pristine, and because they're plain white, they just work with any outfit. The other thing are mid-calf level, high level boots. So not quite to the knee, but mid-calf, and you wear them with a slightly shorter trouser, and this is something that's really elongating to the leg. It's also particularly good for winter. If you like a cropped trouser, it's your preference, but you're like, it's winter, I'm gonna get cold legs, wear a boot underneath it that is to the middle of your calf. So they are all of the things that are in that are out, and hopefully I've given you some tips on things that you can wear instead of the things that are out of style. But I do just want to say, as I mentioned earlier, if you're someone who likes to follow trends, please don't get rid of the stuff that's out of trend right now, because I've got things from like 10 years ago that have come back round again, and I'm so glad I kept them. And the same thing will happen with what you've got now. Trends come and they go and they come back round again. And I guarantee that the things that are out of style right now, like your skinny jeans, keep them. They're great for going on walks. They're very practical. And they'll be back again. They will be back again. So don't be chucking stuff out. Just enjoy what you've got. Maybe if you've got older clothes that are from back in the day and they've come back round again in style. Same with bags, you know, bags do the same thing. Bags come and go. And look at some of the vintage ones around now. There are vintage bags that are seriously pricey because they're back in style again. So keep what you've got. Don't get rid of anything, and shop your wardrobe as well. Make sure you shop your wardrobe. If you have enjoyed this and you want to join me in another one, I'm going to link to a video here and one here. Click away, come and join me. Thank you so much, and I will see you hopefully in one of these.